In this video, I want to take a look at the library assistant paper that is at the State Central Library, Shillong. And it's a recent paper that is on 7th January, that is 2026. And I want to focus primarily on the part B, that is general knowledge, and part C, that is library science. And here each question carry 2 marks, and we will start with our first question, which is number 26. When was Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan started? It is 2001. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan was launched in 2001 with the objective of achieving universal elementary education across India. Which device convert chemical energy into electrical energy? It is battery. A battery converts stored chemical energy into electrical energy through electrochemical reaction. World Environment Day is observed on? It is 5th June. World Environment Day is celebrated every year on 5th June to encourage awareness and action for environmental protection. Nalanda University was established during which dynasty? It is Gupta. Nalanda University was established during the reign of Kumaragupta of the Gupta dynasty in the 5th century CE. The temporary release of a prisoner is called? It is parole. Parole is the temporary release of a prisoner before the completion of a sentence, subject to certain conditions. Which country became the world's first nation to receive COVAX vaccine? It is Ghana. Ghana became the first country in the world to receive COVID-19 vaccine through the COVAX initiative in February 2021. The Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana aimed to provide affordable housing to all. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, or PMAY, aims to provide affordable housing for all eligible families. The Battle of Plassey, that is 1757, was fought between? That is British and the Nawab of Bengal. The Battle of Plassey was fought in 1757 between the British East India Company and Siraj-ud-Dowlah, the Nawab of Bengal. Which article of the Constitution provide for the reservation of seat for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in the Lok Sabha? It is Article 330. Article 330 of the Constitution provides for the reservation of seats for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in the Lok Sabha. Name the place known as the roof of the world. It is Tibet. Tibet is called the roof of the world because it lies on the Tibetan Plateau, the highest and largest plateau on Earth. Nokre Biosphere Reserve is located in which Indian state? It is Meghalaya. Nokre Biosphere Reserve is located in the West Garo Hill district of Meghalaya. It is recognized by UNESCO and is known for its rich biodiversity and as habitat of the endangered red panda and wild citrus fruit species. Which Indian airport became the world's first fully solar-powered airport? It is the Cochin International Airport. The Cochin International Airport in Kerala became the world's first airport to operate entirely on solar power in 2015. Which state was recognized by UNESCO as a go-to global destination of 2025? It is Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh was recognized as go-to global destination 2025 for its rich culture heritage, wildlife, and tourism potential. Which of the following is not a member of G20 summit? It is Pakistan. Pakistan is not a member of the G20. The G20 consists of 19 countries, the African Union, and the European Union. Who coined the term information science? It is Jason Faraday. Jason Faraday is widely recognized as the person who coined the term information science and played a major role in establishing it as an academic discipline. The word classic, root word of classification, is derived from which language? It is Latin. The word classic is derived from the Latin word which means a class or division, forming the basic word of the word classification. In library classification, the colon classification was developed by? It is S.R. Ranganathan. Colon classification was developed by Dr. S.R. Ranganathan in 1933 and introduced the faceted approach to library classification. Which law of library science relate to the growth of libraries? It is the fifth law. The fifth law of library science states that a library is a growing organism, emphasizing continuous growth and adaptation. The first edition of the Dewey Decimal Classification consists of. It is 44 pages. The first edition of the Dewey Decimal Classification, published in 1876, consists of only 44 pages. Who defined notation as the shorthand sign? It is James Duff Brown. James Duff Brown defined notation as a shorthand sign used to represent subject in classification system. Who is known as the father of library science in India? It is S.R. Ranganathan. Dr. S.R. Ranganathan is regarded as the father of library science in India for his pioneering contribution to the field. In colon classification, which is the personality facet? It is first facet. In Ranganathan PMEST formula, personality is the first and the most important facet. How many auxiliary tables are there in the Dewey Decimal Classification or DDC? It is 7. The Dewey Decimal Classification contains 7 standard auxiliary tables used to build more specific class numbers. Which library first introduced the printed catalogue? It is British Museum Library. The British Museum Library is credited with introducing one of the earliest printed library catalogues. Who started the first systematic training for librarians in British India? It is Asa Don Dickinson. Asa Don Dickinson introduced the first systematic training program for librarians in British India at Punjab University, Lahore in 1915. Who developed the calculating machine? It is Blaise Pascal. Blaise Pascal invented the Pascaline in 1642, one of the first successful mechanical calculating machine. Who categorized document into 3 types, that is primary, secondary and tertiary? It is Denis Gorgan. Denis Gorgan classified document into primary, secondary and tertiary sources, a widely accepted classification in library science. Which of the following is an important record of book that show the position of any book on the shelf? It is shelf list. A shelf list record book in the same order in which they are arranged on library shelf, making it useful for stock verification and locating materials. Which of the following is not a secondary source? It is thesis. A thesis presents original research and is considered a primary source rather than a secondary source. Which commission recommended allocating 6% to 10% of the total college budget for the library development? It is Radhakrishna Commission. The University Education Commission, that is 1948-49, headed by Dr. S. Radhakrishna, recommended allocating 6% to 10% of the college budget for library development. Fact on Files, a digest of what events is a. It is a weekly list. Fact on File is a weekly publication that summarizes important world events and development. Which organization applied library and information policy in India at the national level? It is the RRR-LF. The Raja Ram Mohan Roy Library Foundation or RRR-LF has played a major role in implementing and promoting library development policy at the national level. The concept of artificial intelligence belongs to. It is the 5th generation computers. 5th generation computers are categorized by the use of artificial intelligence, expert system, and advanced parallel processing. The process of withdrawing outdated, unused, and damaged book from the library is known as. It is weeding. Reading is the process of removing outdated, damaged, or rarely used material to keep the library collection relevant and useful. Library service provided to inform user about newly acquired document is Current Awareness Service or CAS. The Current Awareness Service inform user about newly acquired book, journals, report, and other recent information resource available in the library. Fair use is a term most relevant to copyright. Fair use is a copyright doctrine that permit limited use of copyrighted works for purposes such as education, criticism, research, and news reporting. Which library year was the State Central Library handed over by the Assam government to the Meghalaya government? It is 1973. The State Central Library was officially handed over by the Assam government to the Meghalaya government in 1973. Who is called the father of cataloguing? It is Charles Amin Cutter. Charles Amin Cutter is regarded as the father of cataloguing for developing the rules for dictionary catalog. The ISSN is a unique identifier for a journal or series publication. The International Standard Serial Number is an 8-digit code used to uniquely identify serial publications such as journals and magazines. A call number, also referred to, is both class number and book number. A call number consists of the class number and a book number, allowing each item to be uniquely identified and shelved. The term collation in cataloging means it is illustration, page number, and size. In cataloging, collation describes the physical detail of the document, including the pagination, illustration, and dimension. In cataloging, the term imprint means it is year of publication, place of publication, publisher name. The imprint statement contains the place of publication, publisher name, and year of publication. The term library committee referred to it is an advisory body of library staff and selected members for the policy decision. A library committee is an advisory body that assists in policy formulation, planning, and improving library services. Which law of the library science state every book its reader? It is the third law. The third law of library science, formulated by Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, state every book its reader, emphasizing that every book should find its appropriate reader. The first Library Act in India was enacted in which state? It is Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu enacted the first Public Library Act in India in 1948, providing a legal framework for the development and maintenance of public libraries. Which indexing system uses uniterms? It is the coordinate indexing. Coordinate indexing uses uniterm single word subject term that can be combined during searching to retrieve relevant information. Which of the following is a Boolean operator? It is all of the above, that is not, and, or. And, or, and not are the three basic Boolean operators used to redefine or refine information, retrieval, and database searches. The concept of selective dissemination of information was introduced by it is Hans-Peter Luant. Hans-Peter Luant introduced the concept of selective dissemination of the information, or SDI, in the 1958 to provide user with personalized current information. The principle of least effort is information seeking behavior was given by it is George Zift. George Kingsley Zift proposed the principle of least effort, stating that people naturally choose the path requiring the least amount of effort. The standard abbreviation for the library and information sciences it is LIST. LIST stands for Library Information Science, the academic discipline concerned with the organization and management of information resources. Which of the following is not a type of catalog? It is keyword catalog. Traditional library catalog include author, title, subject, and dictionary catalogs. Keyword searching is mainly associated with OPACs rather than traditional catalog types. What does OPAC stand for? It is Online Public Access Catalog. OPAC Online Public Access Catalog is an online database that enables users to search a library collection. Who coined the term bibliometrics? It is Alan Pritchard. Alan Pritchard introduced the term bibliometrics in 1969 to describe the application of mathematical and statistical method to books and other publication. Which library is known as the Library of Congress? It is the National Library of the USA. The Library of Congress, located in Washington, D.C., functions as the National Library of the United States and it's one of the largest libraries in the world. Impact factor was introduced by? It is Eugene Garfield. Eugene Garfield introduced the journal impact factor to measure the average number of citations received by the articles published in the journal. Information retrieval focuses on organizing and finding information. Information retrieval is concerned with organizing, searching, and retrieving relevant information efficiently from various information sources. Resource sharing is a part of library cooperation. Resource sharing is a major function of library cooperation, allowing libraries to share collection, services, and expertise. Raw, unevaluated, unprocessed, and unorganized facts are known as? It is data. Data consists of raw and unprocessed facts that become information after being organized and interpreted. Books lost from the library are known through? It is stock verification. Stock verification is conducted periodically to identify books that are missing, damaged, and lost from the library collection. The National Library of India is situated in? It is Kolkata. The National Library of India is located in Belvedere Estate, Kolkata, West Bengal. According to the staffing formula, which section of the university library required one person for every 50 readers using the library in a day? It is circulation. According to the staffing formula for university libraries, the circulation section required one staff member for every 50 daily users. The term bibliomania referred to? It is passionate enthusiasm for collecting and possessing books. Bibliomania referred to an extensive passion or possession for collecting and owning books. Resource description and access, that is RDA, is related to? It is cataloging. RDA, that is resource description and access, is the international cataloging standard used to describe and provide access to library resources. The approach, skill, knowledge principle is related to? It is management. The approach, skill, knowledge, or ARS principle is associated with management and emphasizing that effective professionalism required the right attitude, skill, and knowledge.